And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at Sonic the Hedgehog Crash Course. Now, Sonic is certainly one of the video game icons of the industry, probably not as well known as Mario, but definitely as the main competitor to Mario until they joined up forces in Smash Brothers. But anyway, Sonic was always known for its speed. When you played a Sonic the Hedgehog game, it was a fast game. You went through a zillion miles an hour. I don't know why this hedgehog could run fast, but he could. And even though he's moved into the domain of iPhone games and smartphone games, it's still kind of a speedy type thing. So a lot of his games involve racing. So here's one as a board game. Let's take a look. Each player is going to pick their character: Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails, Eggman, and Red Sonic, or Knuckles. You're going to basically be running around a track. This is the starting track. You're going to place the rest of the track pieces in two piles, also known as a pile of two and a pile of three. And then one person is going to go first. Each person is going to have their own character card that they'll use, which gives you a way that you're going to get these flicky birds, which are how you win the game. You need to get a certain amount of flicky birds. There are two ways to do them. One is by doing whatever the action is on your card. So if he combos two of these together, if he jumps over obstacles. The other way is to be the first onto a new tile. So on your turn, you have three actions that you can spend. If you have damage, there's going to be various things that give you damage over the course of the game. If you have one or two damage, you must spend an action taking off each damage. You can't do anything else till that's finished. You can also move, so you must fix damage or move on your turn. You have to do one of those two things. And when you move, you just basically move forward or diagonally forward. If you move into these spikes or to these bad, evil creatures, you will take damage as you move into them. Sometimes you're forced. If you move off the board, you'll draw the top tile here of either stack and keep going onto that board. So as the game goes by, tracks are going to be drawn and made, and when you get to the last track in a section, you'll pull off the back one and add it there. Now, sometimes when you're laying tracks, you have the opportunity to place shortcuts down. If someone lands on a spot, they can go through the shortcut. Here's another type of a shortcut as you go through the loop there. Or even if you're just next to the thing here, you can go through like that. The last thing you can do on your turn is you can draw tokens. You will draw tokens based on your position. If you're in first place, you draw a token. If you're in last place, you draw three. Everyone else draws two, but you can only keep one. Any rings you get to keep them. And once you get 4 rings, you will get an extra life token of your character that you can spend to rotate boards or avoid taking damage. And other than that, you have bombs that you can throw and hit a track, causing a damage there, shooting these bugs directly in front of you, doing damage, or just putting more obstacles on the path, or kind of speed things that will, when you go through these, they shoot them, or these which will make you jump over obstacles in the path. And that's pretty much it. You're just going to keep going till someone gets a certain number of these flicky birds. That player is the winner. All right, well, there's a comic book that comes with this, so there is that. That's the best thing of the components. Well, not really. These are nice miniatures here, Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Egghead, although he's a bad guy. I'm really not sure why he's in this race, but whatever. The track pieces themselves, this is pretty boring stuff. I mean, they're really boring. There's straightaways or curves. There's a few of each. They're not double-sided, which seems like it could have been better. We have these shortcuts, but the whole thing just doesn't really, doesn't bring to it. These tokens themselves, there's not many of them. They're not hard to figure out what they do, and the game does come with a little reference card with some pretty small font in it, but it does explain everything. The rules themselves are okay, although oddly enough, the way that they explain how shortcuts work is kind of a pain, since it's a little fiddly, I think, on how the shortcuts work. But overall, the components for the game are fine. It feels kind of mass markety and stuff, but they are what they are. Now, there's always a little bit of a problem bringing a race game to a board game, although there's a lot of them out there. But the problem is that race games are fast, and you can't have them become too slow. And that's the problem with Sonic the Hedgehog. Its main problem is it's just not fast. Sonic the Hedgehog is a fast game. Whenever you play it, it's go, 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 make things. Whether you love it or hate it, that's what the main focus of Sonic is. He's a fast guy. This game is not fast. In fact, it feels very slow. And what it feels like is I run forward, I get the next track, I get my bird, yay. You all throw stuff at me, now I'm damaged, I gotta wait. You run past me, you get to the next track, and it just goes on and on and on and on until someone wins. And those special abilities that people have on their cards, they don't feel balanced, first of all. Some of them are a little easier to do than others. You have to kind of set them up, and it's really easy for someone else to just mess you over. And so this game just feels kind of like I'm running a bit, I hit you, then I run a bit, you hit me, I run a bit, I hit them, and just on and on. The track isn't interesting. It's the same track over and over and over again. You don't really see new stuff. So like when I played this on my iPad, the Sonic racing game, the track is the same over and over and over again, but it gets faster and faster and more stuff comes. That doesn't happen here. Drawing the items also slows the game down. If you're in last place, you're like, you know what? I'm going to draw items twice. I'm going to draw 3 tiles. I'll keep this one. I'm going to draw 3 tiles. I'm going to keep this one. Now I'm going to shoot this one at you. Now I'm going to go. And again, this kind of just brings this game to a screeching halt. Now you might say, Vasel, this game isn't meant for you. This is a mass market game. To that I say balderdash, because yes, I get that this is a mass market game, but I should find a game that I can play with my kids that plays fairly quickly. This is a 45-minute game. A 45-minute race, and my kids who like Sonic are not going to be interested in that because they're used to playing Sonic races that are 5 minutes. Now, I'm not saying it has to be a 5-minute game, but it doesn't feel fast. It feels like you took a 5-minute Sonic the Hedgehog race and slowed it down. I mean, the plastic figures are cool, but they don't feel like they have special abilities. They just get birds in different ways. You know, Knuckles is the strongest of them, Sonic is the fastest, and Tails has the ability to jump. Here they just get birds for doing that. I don't know. I had high hopes for this one, but it just doesn't do anything for me. I like the theming behind it even. So, I can't really recommend Sonic Crash Course. Dice Tower Judgment, too slow.